Welcome back to PCM 24 Yeti episode number 95. We have another shot at a team time trial after completely blowing the last shot. We're going to head out. 86 is definitely not going to be enough tempo. However, I've got to understand that there's differences in quality of the team members. So I'm going to set, and we're a little bit longer on distance here. It's 25K this time. I'm going to try an 88 and see if it's possible. But Lind and Vatsek are too good. We're going to set them to an 86. Others behind them will probably not be able to keep up. But Panamar doesn't have enough quality, so 87. Montez, 87. G should be able to do an 88. And Free Salam, 68. We'll try an 87 there. The couple weaker guys, we'll see if they can handle the tempo. Shui with the 88 barely gets into the red bar. Lind is the one we've got to watch out for, and Vatsek. Can the other guys handle the tempo that they are setting? And so far the answer is yes, they can. In fact, it's barely even hurting Lind. So I think we can get away with setting an 87 for he and Vatsek, which means we can attempt the higher 88 with these other guys. Just have to watch that red bar really closely to set the maximum tempo we can manage. There is a little bit of a hill on this one that's we're going to have to watch out for. Otherwise, Lind and Vatsek are going to do the majority of our time making. Panamar will not make the distance. Panamar will not make it, period. Get Panamar out of the line. Let him get dropped. It's fine. He is terrible at time trialing. We can do it without him. Okay, Vatsek. Yeah. Red bar, totally fine with those guys running an 87 for the 2 leaders. The teammates behind them, Panamar couldn't keep up. Montez struggled, but that's because it was his turn. Montez gets out. He's got a chance to recover, and yeah, he is beginning to recover. So this is a tempo it looks like we can maintain. And in terms of effort, in terms of yellow bar, Montez and Free Salam are the only ones that look like they might be in a little bit of trouble with making it all the way to the finish. Everybody else, it seems like the tempo we can handle. Here's the climb, though. This is where we're going to have to be careful as we get back to Lind. Got to watch the red bar behind because Montez is struggling. Free Salam is struggling. Okay, it's time to back off to an 86 for Lind, which means he can really stay on a long time. Vatsek will back off to an 86, and likewise, I think we can make these two ride just about the rest of the way here. 12th, 37 seconds. That's not great. That's not a great time. But it's an okay time. Definitely competitive. I mean, it's the same time as Jaco Alula. That's it. Now taking over. Okay, we're getting some red bar recovery on the descent, but how many guys do we have here? Montez is just hanging on. Time's taken on the 4th rider, not the 5th. It's a good change. Landon Vatsek, G and Shui. G, how is G looking? Oh, they're fine. They're fine. These 4 guys are going to carry us all the way. In fact, these 4 guys could carry us to a better time in the next 5K. So back to the 87, 88, 88, and Lind back to the 87. G, shorten your time on the front. Shui as well. Let the other 2 carry us over the line. 2K to go. Start pushing a little bit harder. Lind. Try the 88. 1K. They are keeping up. G is okay. Shui is okay. One last little hill. One last push for the line. 9th place, 49 seconds. That was good second sector. We definitely got the most out of the squad during that time. Not a bad result. Much better than the last run. Considering we only have one good time trialist, that's a very competitive time. Very competitive time. We're down to 17th on that first sector. But yeah, 9th overall with competitive time. We were with level with Jaco Alula. We pulled 4 seconds on them, so we definitely went the right direction in that second sector, and we pushed just about as hard as you can manage through at least most of that stage. Had we pushed on those four for the entirety, and we probably could have pulled out 10 more seconds, but could those four have held on? We needed teammates for at least part. It was very clear Panamar was not going to be part of it for long. We got him out of line before he ever even took his first turn. But for the other two guys, did we keep them around too long? Did we rely on them too long? Maybe we could have squeezed out 10 more seconds, but I was afraid of dropping too many riders too fast and ending up in the same kind of position we were in the last time where everything splits up. So the race is Paris-Nice. I haven't decided yet if the alternative Torino Adriatico is a race. I will show you it's very much not the superior squad, but that doesn't mean they won't have a chance at least at one stage depending on profile. But this is going to be the bigger focus, and it's already stage 4 of this Paris-Nice. I'm not necessarily focused on GC. I think I'm more so just going to look for some stages here, but this is the right kind of team for it. We do have a couple of guys on fitness peaks, so with an expected +6, we actually have an exact neutral net zero today. We've got a couple +4s, we've got a +3, and then we have a couple -3s. So Montez takes a bit of a hit, but Panamar's not one of our bigger riders anyway. He would have been a domestique for the day. Lind nearly gets into the mix, but there's just too many stronger climbers, and there's plenty of undulation for this stage. Breakaway has 5 riders. They've got a over 5.5 minute advantage as we roll through the early hills of the day. Plenty of KOM points ahead. Could give them an opportunity to pull that gap that little bit further and make that chase that little bit harder, but I'll see you into the final 3 to 4 climbs. Still high tempo for the moment, at least us speeding it up wise, as I don't think this climb's going to be much of a problem. Breakaway still has a 3-minute advantage, and the chase down is really in its early stages. There was still 60k to go. We're coming up on 50k to go. We're definitely moving backwards at the moment, but I wanted to conserve that energy. This will come back together. I'm not worried about that. It will be one peloton soon enough. Maybe some of the groups towards the back end will get dropped, but this group will make contact soon enough, and there it is. 81 riders now in the peloton. We saved some energy for that, but you can see that there is some burning in the legs. The protected riders are fine now. The domestiques, they're definitely feeling it. But I've already upped the effort to an 80. I think we're going to up that even further to about an 82 for this next climb. Short and steep, 2.7k. Still 247 to the front 5. Now the groups behind look like they're not going to regain contact, but this is going to stretch here on this climb. But with a sharp peak at the top of it and then kind of straight down again, I think that's going to lead to a number of splits. One of the reasons why it's a bit more important to try to hold position on this one, and we do, and do so successfully. Just a few riders out the back. One of the riders off the front has also been distanced, but we're coming up into the final sequence, 35k to go. And I was kind of thinking of having a go on this next climb to split the field up, but hard to say whether that's a good idea. It's probably a better idea to just save it for the final climb and just hold position and get over the next climb. I think Panamar is going to be at his end, especially when we're struggling to hold position on a relatively flat zone. So Panamar, we gel, and we'll get ready for a Montez gel here pretty soon as we begin this one. Final hard climb of the day, 5k, 7%, with a pretty steep finish that we're hitting right there. 9.5. Montez gel. Panamar's been dropped. Groups down to 56, 55. And we got some guys kind of at the tail end. So let's go ahead and make sure we are not getting dropped for this. Up to the 90 effort to not go out the back. But Montez, nothing he could do. He's toast. 48 riders left. No breakaway anymore. They've been caught. Looks like I'll have 5 for the finishing climb. We'll have this descent here to get them back in order, get them recovered. Salam, up your effort a little bit. 31, 30. More riders getting distanced. Lind got distanced. I didn't see him go backwards. So we're down to 4. I guess I'll take that though. 10 riders dropped to get down to 26 for us to lose 1. So he was only 10% of those that went out the back. Let them all recover, but before we hit the bottom, we're going to have to queue up. Don't know what the finishing climb's going to look like just yet. I guess I can check. 2.7K is all 8.5%. Yeah, that's definitely territory for 4 guys in a train. It's going to give us a decent shot at things. 3 of the 4 guys are our highest ranked in GC. Frisalam is the one who is not. He's also our kind of weaker, pure climber of hanging on. So Frisalam is going to be the early lead out guy. It's the race day condition that kind of put him in this position. We're going to have him just gently start to pull forward. I think Vatsek's probably our best bet with the climbing and then the punchiness at the end of it. Shui. Yeah, G just doesn't have the race day condition bonus. So G follow, then Shui, then Vatsek. Alright, 83. Not bad for the tempo. I think I can even get away with an 82 for a little bit. We don't need to be actually leading. This is really just about having us in position.
Falling behind! A team leader is falling behind!
If I had extra riders, I think I'd be more inclined to pull at the front. But now that we're almost there, now we're going to start to speed up. Frisalam, getting us out there. G, Gel. Guys are in position. Nobody made contact with us. We've pulled away an extra about 10 seconds from where any of them were. And it's now 3K from the finish. So Gel for Jouet. Sivikov and Gregoire goes down. That's a game changer right there. Down to 22. And it puts the peloton behind us. 1.8K. Frisalam starting to speed up. We've made it easy. We've got no red bar loss on the teammates. But now that we speed up and get into that final kilometer, we do. But Frisalam pulls out. 700 meters. G. Shui. 400 meters. And Vatsek. Vatsek, get me some clean air. Where's your where's your red bar, bud? What happened to your red bar? We are going to get a podium, but we are not going to get a win here. That's the Vismo rider in the middle. Is Kierdo? Is Kierdo? Sure. Is Kierdo. Takes a win ahead of Enric Mas. Shui gets 3rd. G gets 4th. Vatsek gets 6th. Frisalam 9th. Good team result. Ayuso, Lenny Martinez, Godu are all here. Fisher Black finished 20th. Strong field. Strong result for us as a team. No snowball, but good result nonetheless. And that's going to move us up the GC quite a bit. Stage 7. There's still 60 kilometers to go. We're less than halfway into the stage. However, a big crash. There was about 8 riders involved. 3 of them were our guys, Panamar Montes and Jouet. But those 3 riders ended up at the back of the peloton, and because of the crash, the point of the crash split the field. So we end up with a small peloton, and then groups spread all over the place. Even though we got up and caught the back end of what was happening with the field, the big split, it's a short stage. And it's one of those short mountain Tour de France-like stages here at this Paris warm-up for. They're trying to follow suit with the approach of the Tour more these days. And as a result, we've seen 3 groups. Panamar in the group behind. Don't know how that happened, but this is the chase group. And, we're almost 2 minutes down. We are almost 2 minutes down, and there is only a small breakaway that has just a 40-second advantage. It looks like I might have a group of 4 heading into this final climb, and we have got to get water sorted out somewhere, somehow. And I think we're going to have to take what we've got right now and go with it. So we're going to get Lind to go get water and have each group do it individually. I'm not sure we're going to see that group make contact again. They might. But right now, I'm kind of loving the fact that Panamar is in a group of 58, and like, I don't need him. I'm fine. Here, I'd like to have Shui in the group. I'd like to have Montez in the group, but it's 2 riders amongst 51. I'm pretty okay with 3 riders off the back with 109 riders out of contention and just 34 riders in the peloton, and we do have 4 of them. Race day condition wise, it's another second straight day of an exact neutral 0 on the expected versus what we have. The funny thing is that most of the riders have a 0 on their roll for the day, which is pretty rare to have so many roll a 0, but it's not across the board. We have 2 that drew exact mirrored of each other, and that is Derek G got a +3 on his draw, and it's Free Salam who's supposed to have the +3 along with Shui, who rolled a -3. Lind and Free Salam getting a little bit of a breather here as we catch the breakaway. So now there's 38 left in contention. The chase group behind is coming. They have closed the gap a bit. They've gone from, well, 2.5 minutes down on the breakaways, 2 minutes behind the peloton, now just 1.5 minutes. But the group has thinned out. Now instead of 50 riders chasing, it's 21. Definitely have to up the effort to hold that position. They are pushing. Montez, you can see, is definitely feeling it. Jouet doing a little bit better. If they make contact, a lot of those guys in that 21 are going to be pretty tired from the effort and weaker for it. Look how hard these guys are riding. They're not going to have much left at all for later on. In fact, we're struggling to hold on at the 88 effort. Not yet to the climb, but just in case, start to up the effort here. Big climb, big mountain stage. We're not suited to this, so it's going to be difficult. But these guys are getting closer and closer, just 45 seconds behind now. And they seem to be not riding quite as hard through here, but I think one of the big reasons for that is we're not descending. It's false flat, and we're heading towards that climb. These guys are just trying to make contact before the climb actually begins. But you can see just how fatigued a lot of these guys are. Sivikov among those here. That's not Sivikov. That's Sivikov. He's 9th overall. Try to see who's really feeling it. Or who could be feeling it later. I'm guessing Sivikov. He's got some team support, right? He's got 4 guys around him. It's going to help him. Ayuso also. So Sivikov and Ayuso. Seychas, even though he's only 27th. Jorgensen is 17th. But this is very much about Ayuso. Paulus at the back end. His ratings are not great. And contact is made. 59 riders now. 59 left in contention. Immediately one falls off. Probably a UAE rider who is absolutely spent. Montez, gel now. 15K. This is it. Final climb. 14.7 kilometers in length. 5.9%. Not super steep. Very consistent. Steeper right now than anywhere else at 7. So we're just going to kind of hold on. So we're back to 6 riders with just 56 here. Definitely liking how things are shaping up so far. We're not even seeing a heavy tempo. A lot of Destiny doing their best to set it, but they're really not riding hard or fast. Montez is not doing any extra work. He is literally just protecting the rider, and our guys are not Like, this is not
There are
real
just
world.
10 kilometers
We are not
left.
unshielded. We are where we are. And the mechanics follow what you do and what your commands are. 8K to go. There's a sprint point here as we head through town. Okay, Frieslam and Lind need to gel. And we are starting to drift just a little bit, these three. So up the effort a little. Down to 44 riders. 6.6. G and Vatsek are still looking pretty good. They will definitely be the leaders here. Shui and that recovery ride was feeling it a bit more. He's not going to have the extra necessary. In fact, we need to gel now, and he's going to have to protect our leader, which is probably still Vatsek. 76 versus a 77, and that's an 82. And 15th. So no, we're going to ride for G. We're going to ride for Derek G. Vatsek. Follow. And then gel, 3.4K. Down to 30 riders. It's easing off here at the top too. But Shui is done. So Vatsek protect. And gel for G. 26 riders. Most everybody has a lead out though, so we're not any stronger than anybody else, but with 1K to go, that's acceleration, hills, yeah. That's it, lead out. Try an 88 here. What sort of tempo is that looking like? 800 meters. 500 meters sprinting. And now G heading for the line. It's a competitive result. It's not a win, but it's a competitive result. That makes me happy. Filippo Zana takes the win. O'Connor, Moss. We're going to... No, we do make the top 10. G squeezes into 10th place and Vatsek in 13th. And it's a small group at the finish. So GC shapes up again nicely in the right direction for us. Those two will be well placed. For something that is not our strong suit, a proper mountain stage, this season especially without, you know who. That's a good solid result. The base of the climb, I mentioned that it would be interesting to see what happens with UAE. I'm glad I kept an eye on it here, at least in the results. Sevikov was the second highest UAE finisher. Lost 4.5 minutes. He was down there with Free Salam and Lind. Jouet came in at 2.5 minutes down, and 21 riders finished on same time. But UAE's top rider, their leader, 5th overall, Ayuso, was 1.5 minutes down. He did not make it in the final grouping. So their bid to regain contact after the split in the field occurred a long ways from the finish. I mean, that crash happened somewhere around this flat section here before that descent. I think we picked up the start of the stage somewhere about here after it had occurred. But there was a long ways to go. That was early on in the stage, but because it was only 103 kilometers, they tend to push continually, and that was exactly the case here. And even though they regained contact right at the base of the climb, the effort spent, which was not spent by, well, either one of them, right? It was not by Sevikov or Ayuso. Neither one of them was doing the work. But without the teammate support, with all the team members that were spent to get them back in time for the climb, it left them in trouble, and they did not do well. They did not fare well, and no, the UAE is nowhere near the top of the standings. Ayuso is 13th, 2 minutes down. G is 10th, Vatsek 12th, Shui 16th. First climb is behind us on this 108 kilometer final stage in Nice, or at least we left Nice and we'll go back to Nice to finish the stage. Race day condition, though, again, neutral. It's a +1 as a team, so we've been very neutral in this race. However, this one, unlike where we had all those zeros the other day, this time it's all over the place, up and down, plenty of green, a bit of red. Potimarr with a -5 draw, but our leader, Vatsek, has a -2 draw. It's going to be hard to keep him out of trouble on this one. But we do have other riders. Frisalam, Montez, Lind all have good race day conditions, but those aren't the strongest climbers. Strongest climbers, G, Shui, Vatsek, combined are on a 0. At least Potamar is the guy with the really bad one, but it's a little bit worrying on where we're at. So far, position is fine. 2 of 6 climbs behind us. This next climb is not going to be an easy one. We may have to start to up the effort. In fact, I think I'll go for that more standard 78. It's a little more to keep you in position as opposed to that 75, which definitely conserves more energy, keeps that heart rate that little bit lower, but we'll have a good amount of time to recover before the next climb, as we've got a longer descent here. So I'd rather hold that position a little stronger right now, but we're actually doing okay, even though we have the blinking red. Let's back off to a 77 to conserve. We should have everybody over the top of this one. We're down to the final kilometer on this. 4 riders off the front. 4 riders in all. 246 ahead. There we go. Heart rate already coming down. Put in that little bit more. Get that 78 though. Hold that position. I mean, heart rate's down anyway, so you'll get recovery. Make sure we don't drift as well. It's harder to make that up on the climb than it is on the descent. Okay, Cat 1. Hardest climb of the day. Hardest climb of the day. 6.7K, 6.8%, 647 meters. And Potamar is the one I worry the most about on whether he's going to make it through this climb. Peloton's completely intact right now, but this is that break point. We do need water, so the top of this climb, we're going to be wanting to do that. Potamar, though, it's do we want to gel? Do we want to get water? What do we want to do? He's going to make the top. Let's go ahead and use his gel. Mark Hershey in the break today. Okay, we're going to crest. It's going to be a gradual downhill. Let the heart rate come down. He may not be the guy I want to get water. I might need to send somebody else like Lind to do it. Give him a minute, see how we're doing. He's recovering. Okay, get the water, Potamar. 122 left in the peloton. Just 2 riders left off the front. I'm guessing Mark Hershey is one of them. Pearson in between, and yes, Hershey at the front. Now, we're getting into the last little sequence, and we're looking fantastic to hang on to a strong GC position, but we might have some tempo here that's going to be harder to keep up with. So up to an 85. Such a short climb, though. I figured I can get away with an initial surge in tempo and then just make sure we keep up. And we did just fine with that. In fact, we're still going to have Potamar heading into the final climb, and that is where we want to be active. The final climb here is 3.6 at 7.9%, max 10.9 right at the top, and then you descend. It does flatten out, but this is one of those I think we can do something here type scenarios. We've got a little flat sector here. I'm going to sprint train this thing and see if we can put the field under pressure. The field has split. There's only 54 in the peloton. And we've got our entire team for this thing. Jouet is going to get a free load at the back. He's 16th overall. I want to help preserve his GC position. Vatsek is the leader even with the circumstances because he can sprint and he's, you know, GC wise the guy. So G is the other one we definitely want. Yeah, G can offer him a good lead out. Free Salam's going to have acceleration, has the punchiness. Lind is going to offer a good lead out if we can get there. So Montez, who is quite punchy, but he's just going to have to work. And then Potamar get us to the climb. Right now, I'm feeling optimistic about our chances today. Potamar, stay to the outside. Stay to the outside. You got your team to the outside. It's going to switch back. Gotta stay on this right-hand side. Let's go. He did not get forward before the climb. Montez gel. Potamar rides hard. Gets us forward. Gets us into a strong position. Peloton's back together. Montez cannot do a 99. He's too strong. Blowing up his team. But now without the red bar, you can give me a 99. Panamar, are you still well placed? Yes, you are. Follow Shui.
Attacked by
We still have our full team. There goes Gregoire. There goes Gregoire. Here goes Moss. Hershey was caught, by the way. So those are the only two that are off front. Montez does well, but the other guys just couldn't keep up, so there was no way to get any sort of separation. Montez downhill is okay. 7.5 okay to go. I want him to push. Let's check our line. Panamar is the only one who's really slipped off the back here. And we have separation. 27, 26, 25. Montez pushing on. Lind, Gel. Still chasing 1. Just 15 seconds. It's Gregoire who's just got, crazy ratings. 2.9K. 2.9K. Gel for everybody. Flat out sprinting. Can we catch Gregoire first and foremost? And how competitive can we be with our sprints on the way? We are not going to catch Gregoire. We're going to get beat to the line anyway. It would not be for a win. Gregoire takes a win. Fisher Black, even Madaway beat us to the line. G, Vatsek, Free Salam, 4, 5, 6. Jouet, 8. So he does hang on for a good result. And it's a pretty small group at the front, so we could have a little more GC push in the right direction, but we missed the podium, so no time bonuses for us. It's a disappointing miss of the podium. Gregoire clearly had the win. Fisher Black clearly was the faster sprinter. Madaway, or Madawas, as some English announcers are back and forth on that one, but anyway, regardless of pronunciation, he is a faster sprinter than G is, but it looked like we had him beat until the line. Until the exact moment at the line, it looked like we had him beat for third place. So it would have been nice to get G those 4 seconds. Could have meant a couple positions. We'll see how close he was to that. But Vatsek well placed. Free Salam, Shui. Even Panamar was 13th. Lind was 15th. Really good team result. Gregoire gets a 6-second time bonus, and after Hershey in 25th, it's 43 seconds to the trailing Thibaut Nice. By the way, what's going on with Thibaut Nice in the cyclocross season? Is he just not good at cyclocross? He's 5th in the rankings that I saw going into race number 12 of the season. I've watched about 8 of them now, and he has not been competitive in any of them. He's been in the top 10 in all of them, but he's not been competitive. He hasn't challenged for a podium once. Is he not good at cyclocross? What am I missing here? He is Belgian after all. He's very good, color rating here. He's a very strong rider. I'm just surprised he is not pulling better results. It's one thing to try to beat Van der Poel or Van Aert, but they haven't been at very many races. And I've watched at least 3 races this season with neither of them present, and Nice is no higher than 5th in the finish, with some riders that don't seem as strong as what we have here. Good riders, yes. Toon Aerts is not Van Aert. He's not Van der Poel. He's a good rider, but he's beating Nice comfortably week after week, and I feel like Nice should be beating him. Not by massive margins, but anyway, that's a whole different sport. Not really. They're on bikes. I would love either a mode like they have the track cycling here. I would love a mode or a full separate title for cyclocross. That plays a little more like the Tour de France title, right? Where you are riding. That'd be cool. Final standings, G gets 6th place. Moves up 4 spots. So yes, indeed, we did move up. The 4 extra seconds would not have made a difference. Vatsek climbs into the top 10 with a 10th place finish, and Shui holds on to his 16th. That's good. Moss takes the win overall. Gregoire gets 2nd. I think that's an impressive team result. What this feels reminiscent of was a couple years ago, though, when we were just fighting to get to the top 3 of the rankings for Continental Pro, where we had a team that really wasn't capable of winning. I think they snowballed twice all year, but we got second, I think it was, in the final rankings for Continental Pro. This is kind of having that feel. We're a little stronger than that team, and really on paper we are stronger because we were at the bottom of Continental Pro rankings versus being right at the top of them now. But Lind is our best guy on paper, and I mean, come on, he's not winning anything. He's never won anything. He's got a good flat rating, and it's not even a great flat rating. There's so many better riders than him on flat rating, but they have something else that goes with it. They have sprints, they have GC capability. He's got a flat rating. Clearly not good enough either, because I'm really over trying to sprint right now. We don't have a lead out, and our guys just aren't fast enough head to head against anybody else with the current makeup of sprints with that latest patch. It feels completely impossible, beyond our reach. So really, I just want to punch classics, a little bit of GC, certainly time trialing, certainly team time trialing. I'm glad we got a better look here in this Pyrenees. That's part of what led to this good result. 3 of those 4 guys that were in that final grouping for us, G, Vatsek, Shui, held on for all good GC positions. But that's why it feels like that couple years ago. We don't have the standout guy who's going to go do something strong GC wise. Like 6th with Derek G feels about as good as it can get. That's good. Vatsek should be able to do more, but he didn't have any big race day bonuses at all. He had a -2, he had a 0, he had a +1. Like, he never had a good race day condition, and that's why G ended up finishing above him, because he had +3, +4, +3. He had good days. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.